Welcome to this tutorial on GHS scripting. Tutorial number 840 focuses on keyboard shortcuts. So today we're going to talk about how to create keyboard shortcuts and how to use them. But first, a quick disclaimer. This presentation is for instruction purposes only. It is not to be used in engineering for construction, and I'm not a representative of Creative Systems. This is unofficial training only, based upon my own knowledge and experiences. For the official training, you can contact Creative Systems at the information listed on the bottom of your screen. Highly recommend it. It's quite informative. Okay, so today we are talking about keyboard shortcuts. What these are hotkeys associated with specific macros or command sequences, and they let you associate common tasks with each keyboard command. And what we're doing here, this is really the beginning of being able to take a run file and expand its capability. Before, when I've been talking about run files, I've talked about them as if it's something that performs a single task, a single analysis on a single vessel, and you're done. And that's how a lot of people use run files. The other thing, though, with keyboard shortcuts is you can now start to build up run files and turn them into generic programs. You can actually build a file that contains all of the analyses needed for a certain type of vessel. And you can build macros in there to open vessel geometry and do the different types of analyses and all of that. And so with keyboard shortcuts, what we're doing here is basically expanding the run file to become a complete interactive interface designed for a specific category of task. And that's the key there, is you're creating a full user interface where instead of becoming a user, you are now graduating to the role of a GHS developer. You're the person making programs that other people use. And that's pretty neat. So what are we talking about today with that interface is keyboard shortcuts. And they're this part right here along the bottom of your screen, is these keys that you can actually press to do quick little menus or executions or macros. And I'll show you how to make them. So the command sequence for this is the GHS command is key. You have ID, command, and label. And notice that command and label are within quotation marks. And then we have our normal commas to separate them. Okay, so now let's first start with that ID. The ID is the keyboard key that you want to press to make it do whatever you're going to have it do. There are two different types of keys that you can type in. So you can type in, this ID can be FN. So the F is the part that will always be there, and N is a number from 1 to 10. These are the function keys that are at the top of your keyboard. So F1, F2, F3, F4, all the way up to F10. Or the other type of hotkeys that you can create here are CA, where A is any alphabetical letter on the keyboard. So these are your control keys. Control plus A, Control plus J, plus Control plus O, those sorts of things. Those are the two things that you can create hotkeys for in GHS. So the function keys and the control keys are what you can create keys for. Now the command itself is whatever GHS command you want to execute with. You can just type in direct GHS commands. Typically this is going to be a macro instead. So you're going to type in a macro name there. Now here's a little bit of a catch. You have to catch this. If you just type the macro name, then what GHS will do is it will print out that macro name, and you still have to actually hit enter for it to execute. Now what you can do, though, is you can finish that with this vertical bar in your command. So you type the macro name vertical bar, all within quotation marks. And what that vertical bar does is it actually automatically executes the it automatically executes whatever macro or command you have named. So that's pretty darn handy. And then what we have finally is label. The label is the thing that shows up in the GHS window. So if I go back, you see these items right here along the bottom of the screen? These are the labels. So that's what a label is. And here are a few examples of how you can create hotkeys, just to sort of give you the idea. So for example, key F1, okay, so it's associated with the F1 key. Help, that's just a simple GHS command. And notice how I've put that vertical bar in. And then help is going to be the label that shows up. Or my F7 key here is going to be .intact bar. I've got that bar. And then intact criteria is my label. Or hey, how about key CA? So that's the control key plus the A key. Tank star bar. So I'm going to tell GHS to select all of the tanks. And I've got all tanks for my labels. So those are all common examples of how you could use hotkeys in GHS. Okay, few more miscellaneous key commands that I have to show you. First off, key show displays those key assignments. They may not be there otherwise. Key no show will hide the keyboard assignments. They still work, they're just not being displayed. And then finally, key off deletes any keyboard assignments that are already there. It removes the keyboard assignments. Okay, so let's practice this. Homework number 841. What I'd like you to do is, there's a damage stability run file in homework number 841, and that also now includes a new macro for intact stability analysis. So what I would like you to do is create 2 keyboard shortcut keys for the stability analysis. I'd like the intact stability analysis to be assigned to the F3 key. So that macro for intact stability should be the F3 key. And then I'd like the damage stability analysis to be assigned to the F2 key. And then once you've done that, I've got a few more keys that I want you to create. First, I'd like you to create a shortcut key to load all of the tanks completely full. So that'll be Control F. You'll have to create a macro yourself or your own keyboard, your own command, and then assign it to the Control F key. Same thing to load all the tanks completely empty. So that's, again, you'll have to do a Control key there and assign it to that Control E key. And then finally, I'd like you to create a special macro for departure condition on the tanks, and that'll be assigned to the Control D key. And what I would like you to have this do is you're going to make the macro where all fuel oil tanks, all HO tanks, and all LO tanks are all 98% full. And then all ballast tanks, BAL, any tank that starts with BAL, is 0% full. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this informative and educational. You can find the homework files along with their solutions and several other tutorials at dmsonline.us. Thanks very much.